I was like, it didn't look horrible in a bad way though. It was like horrible adorable, if that makes any kind of sense, because she's trying so hard and
Hmm.
she's putting so much effort. You could see just the focus and concentration on her face as she's just flailing all about. But I felt it added to the adorableness of her character when she was doing that. When
Hmm.
she started doing the run through, I was kind of like, yeah, this isn't your place.
Hello, welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host Andre C. Right over here is my co-host Melball. Melball, how you doing?
Hey, I can't complain. I got the little puppy for the intro today. Little Kojima joining us
Koji.
for a little bit anyway, until he settles down or decides to go run off and chase a ball. It's been a fun weekend, nice and relaxing. Got to catch up on some amazing women's wrestling. But Andre, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I caught up on some women's wrestling over the last couple of days, watching some great Stardom wrestling. Um,
Mhm.
Starting to catch up on some New Japan Pro Wrestling, Fantasticamania, so a little bit that I am
Mhm.
watching of that. But we are here to talk the ways of professional wrestling, and this is Stardom, baby. And
Mhm.
before we get into this, I want to talk about a couple big announcements that have been made regarding Stardom and their women's division. And Mercedes Monet will be challenging against, will be defending, sorry, against Azumi on, I think it was April. I gotta pull that date up again. I think it's April the third or fifth. I can't remember one of those two dates. She is defending at the New Japan card, and
Mhm.
then a couple weeks later on the 23rd, she'll be defending at Stardom if she retains against Azumi against
Mhm.
Mayu Iwatani.
Mhm. Oh, I
But
knew
there
about the Azumi one. I didn't know about the Maya one.
and there's reports out there right now that supposedly Mercedes only committed to those two dates and nothing else. So,
Interesting.
and I read another report that said Mayu Iwatani was supposed to be the person to win that championship, but there was a money issue going on. I guess contract money issue. So could we see Mayu Iwatani take the title from Mercedes Monet on the 23rd? We don't know, but I'm looking forward to it.
Will be a fun ride either way.
Heck yes, it will be. But we are here to talk about one night of Triangle Derby. I guess the second
Mhm.
final night of the Triangle Derby, and another just great night of Stardom wrestling.
Yes. Yes. And what
Oh,
a
and
show. The production was incredible for both of these shows.
absolutely phenomenal for both. So I found the second night a little bit less than the first night because I think they had more cameras. They only had the
Mm.
one roaming camera on the second night. But that's my only issue in production. Before we get into it,
Mhm.
I want to say please like and subscribe to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. We always love hearing comments from every single one of you out there.
Mhm. Mhm. What I was gonna say is the second night kind of felt almost like a night at Top Talent.
Yeah, kind of more club environment. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. A little bit more casual, but a little emotional at the end there. But we'll get into that.
Oh yeah. But we are. Oh, man, we are way too small on the screen right now. Let's make ourselves bigger. Yay! We're not tiny. And we're gonna
Mhm.
start it out on the February 17th show, which before this happened, we actually got introduction to three new young ladies for Stardom, and
Mhm.
Komomo Minami, Hanako Ueda, and Sakura Ishiguro. I'm I'm gonna go with that.
Ishiguro.
Ishiguro. I'm going to go with that.
Mhm.
Ishiguro actually makes a request to face Julia in her debut match, and Julia comes out and says, "I don't know if you can handle Julia," and calls her Guro-san. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, I'm and I from the whole thing, I'm still not sure if they're actually going to wrestle or not, but
It sounds like they could be, yeah, for sure.
I think they are, but I don't know. It just nothing was set in stone. That was my question. I'm like, so is she gonna face off with her? I wasn't sure. I
That
was
seems to be a
very
trend with Stardom because I was equally as baffled when Monet and Okada kind of confronted the audience after the show there. I was just like, yeah, let's team up together. But where and when and how? Come on.
the next crossover show.
When?
I don't
When is
know.
it? Exactly.
November, November. I'm guessing. Let's do more than one of those a year. But we are going to get into this.
Anyhow.
We're going to get into this four-way tag team match. It's Queen's Quest,
Mhm.
Lady C, and Miyu Amasaki taking on Away to Ties Fukigen Death, and Rina versus Donna Del Mundo's Himeka and Maika, collectively known as Himeka, and Club Venus's Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa. I really liked the start. I mean, they did the 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 triple test of strength, and Fuki was too short, so they just left her out of it, and Fuki just starts crossing through. I found that so funny, and then she just like goes in the middle and starts
Mhm.
Fuki contesting, and they'll just like boot her. It was funny to see.
It was, yes. Gotta love Fukigen Death and then her unmovable face paint. She clearly shared her secrets with Asuka because Asuka is the same way. That makeup is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
very much.
One thing I
There was a
noticed in this one was Miyu. Miyu definitely at Miyu Amasaki really kind of making her way through everyone here. She had a really great DDT on her way to tie there.
mhm. Very
Mhm.
nice. And there's a great spot from Lady C where she got where freaking jumps up there and gets her in like a standing guillotine, and she like fights her out and then turns it into the spin, like
Oh
the
yes, yes.
Cesaro spin. I was like, I just love the way she transitioned out of getting out of the guillotine and just holding onto the legs and just get
Mhm.
it going into the spin. Just and again, just recklessly letting her fly at the end.
Yeah, that one looked really rough too, and it looked like they were both tiring out a little bit. Fukigen getting a little bit lower in that tail end of that airplane spin there.
Yeah, very much so.
Mhm.
Um, there's a great spot, great Russian leg sweep, drop combo by Club Venus to Lady C. I love those two teaming up.
Mhm.
Lady C getting that beautiful Cobra clutch, but like over the knee. I like the way she applies it. Instead of just like holding it like, in the stand, like she brings it down to like get like a backbreaker almost involved, like a backbreaker stretch to add into it. I really
Mhm.
like that. But the end of
Mhm.
this came when Mina Shirakawa hit the spinning back fist to Lady C, but then Himeka runs in, rolls up Lady C, and Maika grabs Mina Shirakawa to hold her back, and Himeka picks up the win off a Mina Shirakawa finish.
Yeah, yeah, and Mina not happy at the end of that, attacking Micah and really voicing how pissed off she was. And I actually wrote down, I love Micah and Himika, but they stole one. They pulled the
Well,
rug out from Mina Shirakawa's feet there.
and Mina even tried a couple spinning back fists at them after the match, trying to smack them with it, but they both got out of the way. But like they both
Hmm.
like kept moving backwards. But it was just like, geez, kind of a dick move.
It was. It
But Mina would have done
repeatedly like
Mina and May would
sugarcoat
have done the
that.
same. I think Mina and May would have done the same thing though.
I mean, we'll have to see if they're ever in the same situation. Maybe that's the story there.
It could be, but I was just like, hey, smart way to pick up a win. It really is.
That's true enough.
So we move on to the first of six Triangle Derby matches on this show, and we've got
Mm.
a team of Lollipop, Rina Amikura, Wakakiyama.
Lollipop.
Yeah, that's their team name, Lollipop. You know that?
What's that? The picture that I see.
Oh, I have this completely out of. There it is. Oops,
You there? What's
I
that?
scrolled
Your
too far. I was on the right picture, but I was in the wrong place in my notes. I'm crazy. Sorry. We have the first of the Triangle Derby matches, which is the
turn?
unique glares. Haruka Umesaki, Ruaka, and Starlight Kid taking on Gold Ship and Momo Watanabe, Natsuko, Tora, and Saki Kashima. It's a way to tie versus a way to tie.
Young Oedo
And
Tai versus.
and young Oedo Tai are the one attacking the vets before the
I
match.
know.
They're like, if you watch Tora as she's entering, she's like looking around, like she's expecting Unique Glare to attack her because she's like, I know your tricks because I taught you them, and she's like looking around, slowly getting in, and then they jump them and attack them. It was just, but like,
Which is
yeah,
hilarious again coming out of Umesaki, right? She's still the little hee hee.
yeah, it was an odd thing because yeah, it's still the Umasaki, and I'm
Character.
like, Rina, give me karma, man. God,
Yes.
but yeah, I thought it was a really fun match. See, getting
Hmm.
kind of see these two teams that don't really have infighting fight against each other. Um, Great spot, Starlight Kid. That standing moonsault always utter perfection.
Hmm.
She's. I have a really strong feeling she's taking the high speed title from Azumi on in March here when they face off because Azumi's heading off to face for that title for that IWGP title. So I could see Starlight Kid maybe taking the high speed belt there, and she's always on point, man.
I mean, Azumi's defended that title successfully 9 times now. She's held it for more than a year, and she's had legendary fights with Starlight Kid. I wouldn't put it past her. Just my fandom of Azumi makes me want to say nay nay sir, nay nay. But the pure talent that Starlight Kid has says it is a possibility.
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
It looks like she's been so good lately. I could
mhm.
see her taking that title.
um Something you mentioned with Tora kind of being a little suspicious. I mean, you have to remember, I mean, Ruaka, her regular tag team partner with BMI, she did teach her, as you said, everything she knows, and Ruaka and her really did not hold back at the beginning of this match. They were absolutely savage, and I loved it because you knew at the end of the match they were just going to be like, cool, let's go get changed.
Well, you got Ruaka choking Tora with the pipe, and Tora ends up running Ruaka into the post, and then smacks her with the pipe. Like
Mhm.
they're like we're not holding. I'm not holding back, and they're not
Mhm.
holding back on each other. And it's the same thing with Starlight Kid and Momo Watanabe. They're
Mhm.
regular tag team partners. So again, and they were kicking. Momo was kicking the shit out of Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid was going full speed, full bore at Momo Watanabe in this match. It was very much like we're gonna kick the shit out of each other. We'll see who wins, and we'll be friends after.
Exactly, exactly. And Haruka actually, the sort of, I would almost say in this situation a little bit more of the odd man out because she has been tagging more with the young Oedo tires as opposed to like the vet Oedo tires there. But she held her own very, very well, especially against Tora when Ruaka tagged out at the beginning there, and actually was putting Tora down pretty easily. I was very impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Though again, I am with you. I would prefer to see the Karma character. I feel the Karma character fits a little bit better. Hopefully, the transition from teehee to heh goes really well for her. Um, Something I also wrote down to go back to the strike off between Starlight Kid and Momo. I love that they were using their own most powerful strikes in their repertoire. With Starlight Kid, it is her forearm. With Momo, it is those soul snatching freaking PK kicks, and she was not pulling them even a little bit. She beat the holy hacking crap out of Starlight Kid, and it was great. I'm very impressed with how quickly Momo can just reload those kicks, and how each and every single one of them is just so much stronger than the last. Like the training that she must have had to do to get to that point, it must have been absolutely insane. Um, yeah, I don't know who it was Ruaka tried to hit with the container, but the part where she went to hit and
That
Tora
she
just
hit Saki, or that was the early one because she hit it. She actually used it later too.
yeah, this was the one I'm talking about is later in the match when Tora actually punched it and it went flying into the crowd.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
assaulting the children again. Yeah,
No, that
children
was the
have to
early
learn.
one because the later one, Ruaka actually hit Saki with the case, and then she hit the freezer bomb. The early
Oh
one was
well,
where it got punched.
I mean, I write down my notes in the order that they happen in the match, so I don't know what to tell you.
That's the way I wrote it too. I
So
have it in my early
anyway,
points of my notes, but
um,
I'm maybe it's weird.
regardless, the teams both worked really, really well together, and then afterwards, as we said, like I expected this to happen, and it's exactly what happened. As soon as the bell rung, Saki picking up that sneaky pin. Love
Yeah,
that sneaky pin
with
because
her
she's so tiny. Her what's it called?
kishikase,
Kishikashi. Oh yeah, I should probably wait for the
kishikase.
name on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, the celebration afterward was a lot of fun. Tora almost like patting Ruaka on the head, and it was just a very heartwarming moment coming from a typically evil syndicate, essentially.